Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, I think we can start now.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Mark Twain once said, "The secret of getting ahead is getting started." Today marks the beginning of one such start. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ellen Maria, student editor of Lex Erudites, and I have been entrusted with the privilege to steer the launch of the inaugural edition of the Lex Erudites e-journal. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome each one of you to this much awaited ceremony. At this juncture, I wish to introduce Let's Erudites to everyone. Let's Erudites is a humble initiative by a few undergraduate students of law with a primary vision to provide a platform for social legal discourse and scholarship. Our trajectory as an open e-journal intends to disseminate constructive, independent ideas and thoughts on social legal issues and national and international developments in the field of law and society. We, as an e-journal, embarked on a journey to support and encourage aspiring writers and young minds to ink their free-spirited recent thoughts and opinions. We aim to advance legal knowledge across the borders in the field of law by bridging the gap between the legal fraternities around the world and to foster an intellectual environment for a meritorious community of law students and legal professionals. For the welcome address, we have on board Advocate Akhil George, editor in chief and the visionary that made the novel idea behind this e journal a reality today. I warmly welcome you, sir, to deliver the inaugural address.
Thank you so much, Ellen. Ellen started by quoting Mark Twain by saying that the secret of getting ahead is getting started. So I would like to recollect those days at this juncture when two young law students who were only in their first year, that is Shivadat Menon and Arun Vaidyanathan, approached me with an idea of an e-journal. I'm also a very young lawyer, new to this profession, only going to be 3 years into this profession. So they came up with the idea of e-journal, and to be very honest, I was astonished with their vision on a very wide canvas, and I couldn't refuse their request to be on a journey with them because I was pretty sure that this is going to work out. In the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, the mind once stretched by a new idea never returned to its original dimension. And I consider myself very fortunate enough to be a part of this journey along with some brilliant law students from different parts of India under the name Lex Erudites, which in return bestowed me with this opportunity to welcome the distinguished personalities who are present today. Before venturing into the formal duty which I am entrusted to, I would like a moment to extend my sincere gratitude to the whole team of Lex Erudites, especially the student editors and the senior editor, Dr. Anuja S. and Arati Gopal for their immense contribution for making this journal a reality. And on my personal front, I would like to extend my gratitude to Advocate Sheda Shashikumar, who had lent me a helping hand in discharging my editorial duties. Now I move on to my duty. Today, I consider it as a privilege to welcome the former editor of ILR, who have adorned the editor's post for at least more than a decade of ILR Kerala series, Honorable Justice V.G. Arun sir, to this inaugural session of the Lex Erudites e-journal. As a young lawyer, I admire Honorable Justice V.G. Arun sir's legal reasoning. Especially, I would like to point out two cases which really influenced me as a lawyer to how to reason and how to call out the legal reasoning when a point of law comes up. One was with regard to the guidelines of plea bargaining, which takes its principles from the erstwhile judgment of the learned Lord Justice of the England Court, R versus Sussex, where it said that justice should not only be done but seem to be done. So in a revision petition before the Kerala High Court in 2021, Honorable Justice V.G. Arun has put forth the guidelines of plea bargaining, which as a lawyer, especially practicing in the trial court, was something very fascinating to me, the guidelines. And secondly, the Kerala Assembly vandalism case, which was dismissed by the Kerala High Court, and the same judgment which was affirmed by the Supreme Court when they went to appeal. These two judgments is my personal favorite of Honorable Justice V.G. Arun in the last 1 year. I welcome you formally to this inaugural session, sir. Now, I would like to welcome 3 board of advisors who were there with us from day one. And there is a peculiarity in this board of advisors because they are joining us from 3 different parts of the world. The first is Dr. Professor Brian Clark, who is the professor of Newcastle University, who is joining us from the England. And he was there with us, and his contributions was immense when we conducted an international mediation competition, wherein there were 17 international judges and 2 international teams. And his contribution for the success of the event was commendable. I welcome Dr. Brian Clark to this inaugural session. Now I invite our another board of advisors, Dr. Sagar Singham Shetty sir, who is the managing director of Aerospace Aviation Lawyers India Association, and also a professor, a visiting professor of Nalsar University, who is joining us from Netherlands. And he has been more than an advisor, a senior friend or brother who is always there with me, a critical friend who sheds light on us, who gives wisdom to our vision, and also support in all fronts for the past 2 years. I welcome Sagar Singham Shetty sir to this inaugural event. Now I welcome Dr. Dwini Mehta, who is the co-founder and lead of Health and Medical Law VD Policy Center. And she was very happy and delighted when we accosted her to be a part of the Lex Erudites. And I welcome her on this auspicious day. Now I formally welcome all those students who have participated in the debate competition, which was held as a part of our inaugural edition. And we are really happy to announce that we had more than 150 registrations. And it was a very commendable shoulder-to-shoulder competition between the competitors. And I welcome all those people who have participated and cooperated with us to this inaugural edition, wherein the results will be declared. And last but not the least, I welcome all those people who are behind Lex Erudites. And I personally feel so much happy to be part of Lex Erudites, because the one peculiar thing which I recognize in Lex Erudites is that the unity among the people and the team, the composition is very peculiar, because we have law students from different universities who are coming up for a common goal. So the contribution from different fronts is very exciting. And I also got an opportunity to interact with them during the international mediation competition. So I welcome each and every one of you to this inaugural session. And this session belongs to you. I'm just formally compelled to invite you, welcome you to this program. And also all those who are present here to be a part of our happiness, I welcome you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Akhil sir. Next, for the much awaited keynote address and launch, let me invite Honorable Justice V.G. Arun, Judge, High Court of Kerala, who was kind enough to accept our invitation and be present today. As some of us might be aware, and as Akhil sir previously mentioned, Justice V.G. Arun was also appointed as the editor of the academic journal Indian Law Reports Kerala series back in 2005, and he held the position until he was appointed as a judge in 2018. It gives me immense honor to welcome you, sir. Over to you, sir.
Advocates Akhil George, and Gajendra Singh Rajpurohit, and my other young friends in Lex Erudites, the eminent scholars on the board of advisors, of course, the winners of today's debate, and others present here virtually. A very good evening to all of you. As a member of the bench and for a long time of the bar, I can be very forthright in saying that the legal profession requires intense study and dedication. However, in the rigor of our professional life, questions like what is the law intended to do and why it's developed as we see it today often fall beyond the ambit of our consideration. These questions call for dedicated research and study and require the members of the bar to keep themselves abreast with the changing laws and the various other related fields. Now, a journal like what is being launched today will definitely help the lawyers and the law students in achieving this goal. Having been the editor of a law journal, I can vouch that the journals are of immense help in building the acumen of lawyers. I congratulate the Lex Erudites team and the eminent scholars who are advising these young minds. And I also wish that the journal help in developing the scientific temper, humanism, and the spirit of inquiry and reform, as is envisaged in our constitution, that being one of the fundamental duties. And as Helen rightly said, this journal is, I'm definite, is going to cross frontiers and let it kindle the spirit of like-minded youngsters. Thank you very much. I formally declare this the event to be inaugurated, and I wish the very best to the entire Lex Erudites team.
Thank you so much, VG Arun sir, for your words of wisdom. We are extremely grateful for the fact that you took out your valuable time to be here with us today. Thank you, sir. As a part of the journal launch, we have a launch video waiting to be presented right now. Let us take a look at it. Thank you so much, Shivadat, for streaming the video for us. Next, for the felicitation, we have Dr. Dwani Mehta. She is the lead health and co-founder at Vidhi Center for Legal Research, an independent think tank that does legal research to make better laws and improve governance for the public good. During her doctoral degree at the University of Oxford, she was the chairperson of Pro Bono Publico and an editor of the Oxford Human Rights blog. She is also the part of the advisory board of Lex Erudites. It is an honor to have you here, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. I'm really sorry I can't switch on my video because my internet connection is really poor, and I hope I'm currently audible to everyone. Thanks
Yes,
very
ma'am.
much for inviting me to this special event for you. And I just want to congratulate you and the whole team on on this wonderful initiative and putting such a fantastic journal together. It's very encouraging to see that young law students want to do something beyond their degree and want to take initiative to open up opportunities for legal scholarship to a wider audience. So it's great that you have you want to make this journal open and accessible to all, and I hope that the journal can go from strength to strength in the next years. I'm very excited to read the inaugural copy. It'll also be interesting to see how Lex Erudites evolves and the kinds of areas in which you decide you want to specialize. You've done a range of very interesting activities over the course of the last year, from law and policy in transport to work on mediation and now the journal. I hope that you find you're able to carve out your niche amongst the other initiatives that already exist, and that you truly become an accessible platform for young scholars. So maybe you might want to think about how you could make the journal accessible in more languages than English, encourage scholarship in other forms, think about start while academic scholarship is great, it's also important to uh, remember that not everyone can read a heavy scholarly piece of writing, and so perhaps you can think about exploring other media of communication as well, whether it's blogs or op-eds in newspapers. I think at the juncture at which we are in today's world, it's important to make independent voices reach out to a much wider audience. And while the journal is a great example of that, I would love to encourage you to think about other media of communication as well. So I'm very happy to be here at this event and to look at the fruition of the hard work that you've put in over the course of the last year. And I wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dwani, ma'am. Next in line for the felicitation, we have Dr. Brian Clark, Professor of Law and Civil Justice, head at the Newcastle University's Law School, United Kingdom. He is the former board member of Scottish Mediation and a former member of the Civil Mediation Council's Academic Committee. He is also currently a member of Arab Mediation Project. He has been a part of the advisory board since its inception. I humbly invite you, sir, to deliver the felicitation.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you all for giving me the chance to be here today. It's such an honor to be part of this event alongside my fellow speakers. It was great to hear from Advocate Akhil George about the origins of this project and his experiences and how it grew, and to hear the Honourable Justice V.J. Arun, who gave an excellent, inspiring speech, reminding us about the importance of legal scholarship and in thinking big and looking to develop law in its different forms across society. And I want to thank my fellow advisors, Dr. Dwani Mehta. So that's the first time we've met. So lovely to meet you today. Sadly, we can't see each other. And also Sagar, again, nice to see you again, Sagar. I look forward to hearing you after I've spoken. So I've been involved with Lex Erudites for, I guess, a couple of years now. When I first gave an online lecture back in about April 2019, I think, or 20 perhaps, on mediation and civil justice. And it was so well organized, everyone was lovely, it was very well run. And I just got a sense that this was a good group of people who knew what they were doing, who knew what they wanted to achieve. And then I joined their board of advisors and was patron of their first really very successful international mediation competition. It was a real pleasure to be involved in that. And of course, since then, Lex Erudites have been involved in lots of other activity, including putting on many webinars in different areas. Obviously, we've just had the current student debate competition, which has just come to an end. And it's just fantastic to see the launch of the first edition of the journal today. And I think that Lex Erudites is such a fantastic initiative. It's a group of law students and young legal practitioners who are seeking to disseminate information and insight about legal and policy developments within India and also beyond. And obviously the journal represents a culmination of efforts across the last year or so to bring forth really high quality, insightful scholarship on a range of important issues. And I know that the editorial team have worked incredibly hard in working with the contributors to get the quality that we see in the journal today. I've not had the chance yet to read through all the submissions because I only saw them for the first time yesterday, actually. But I can see that they're focused on very, very important societal issues, including, for example, something close to my heart, the development of mediation and ADR in civil justice in the post-COVID environment, global perspectives on racial discrimination, the consequence of caste-based reservation on economic development, issues of constitutional morality, environmental protection laws, the anti-defection law, and also the rise of domestic violence throughout the COVID pandemic. And that's something which we've seen across a number of jurisdictions, actually. So these are all really important issues. And it's great to see this level of fresh thinking and insight here from the contributors. So I just want to thank and congratulate all of the contributors for their efforts, and also the team at Lex Erudites for setting up the journal, working so hard on this and many other initiatives. And I just want to finish with a few more words here. I've been in education, in higher education for over 25 years now, and I've taught and mentored thousands of students in that time. And in that time, I've really seen the power of education, the importance of education to really change lives for the better, to empower minorities, to bring about societal and legal changes for the better. And the young lawyers involved in Lex Erudites, whether you're on the organizing committee, whether you serve on the editorial board, whether you're a contributor or participant to the many activities ongoing, you're going to go on in your future career to different roles as lawyers, obviously. Some of you will become judges. No doubt some will work in other sectors such as business and politics, but you're going to go on and make an enormous impact. Whatever your choices are, whatever your career path is, you've all got the potential to make a huge impact, and you're showing that potential now. And I'm just so proud to be involved in a really small way, to be in a small part of this journey, in your journey as the leaders of tomorrow, because that's what many of you will be. And you're at the vanguard of making society a better place for all. So thank you very much. And it's just fantastic to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Brian, sir. Next, we have Mr. Sagar Singham Sethi, the Managing Director of Aerospace and Aviation Lawyers Association of India, and an adjunct professor of Center for Aerospace and Defense Law, Nalsa University, Hyderabad. He's also an advisor to Lex Erudites, and I warmly welcome you, sir, to deliver the felicitation.
Thank you, Aline. Good afternoon, good evening to everyone. So respected Honorable Justice Sri V.G. Arun, Professor Dr. Brian Clark, Dr. Dwani Mehta, Akhil George and his team at Lex Erudites, and to everyone listening to this session. Once again, good afternoon and good evening. I'm very glad to be part of this inaugural launch of the Lex Erudites e-journal. And I'm happy to be part of the Lex Erudites family from the start of their journey, where the objective continues to be to promote research in the field of law and policy. In addition, what particularly has driven me, in this journey with the Lex Erudites is their vision to bring new areas of law closer to the students and to the young legal professionals. So I'm particularly very happy in the way that you have dealt with a number of new areas, especially on the transport side, which is a very evolving subject in India or across the globe as well. and also other areas like mediation and arbitration, which Brian has been quite actively supporting you in that venture. The young group of students and legal professionals at Lex Erudites are, of course, doing their bit to promote the legal sector and are raising awareness of the legal challenges we are facing today, either inside the court or outside the court. And that's exactly what I was referring earlier, inside the court, and particularly what Brian actually outlined some of the topics coming out from that journal. But outside the court, especially in the areas of mediation, which you have been quite actively looking into. I'm particularly glad to have been associated with Lex Erudites team to organize the recently concluded Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Air and Space Law and Policy Essay Competition, where we had 75 plus submissions globally, actually. And we have given one lakh rupee prize money for the top 3 winners, and these awards were actually recently announced at the second international conference on the future of transport. That was also actually held with the support of the Lex Erudites team. Of course, this is a very new area of law where we need more legal professionals taking up this field, as the activities in the aviation, space, and mobility sector are having profound impact on the citizens of the country, whether it's in India or abroad. It doesn't matter. I mean, transport is a global industry. So I'm a big fan of transport, so I'll continue to talk about that forever, I suppose. As innovation and technology evolves, the legal system should also adapt quickly. In this respect, legal research and legal writing continue to be very important, as we need to develop the necessary jurisprudence. And technology is changing, of course, the way we think, we behave, and it will be true for the legal sector as well, where legal professionals need to adapt and develop expertise in the area of law to assist the businesses or their clients. So this initiative of an e-journal by Lex Erudites is necessary. I know that there are many of them, but again, there is scope for these kind of initiatives still, because as Dwani mentioned, accessibility is really important. And I hope this particular journal also becomes more and more accessible. And we need to do more research and reflect on legal and policy challenges of the day. And this is particularly true for India, as we need to develop well-researched legal content. Sitting here in Belgium, I look into the legal content that is produced in India as well as globally, and I think we have a long way to go, or at least a certain way that we have to still come up to. So I hope this particular journal will pave the way in bridging that gap when it comes to good research content. So happy to see that the young members of Lex Erudites are also getting the support from experienced professionals in the field of law, as the objective they set for themselves through this e-journal and the conferences you hold. I hope it's very helpful because you're providing an opportunity, you're providing through your platform, through your medium, the opportunity to share knowledge and stimulate the legal minds. So thank you again for all your efforts. And as Brian mentioned, I'll also say that I'll play my small role to support the activities of Lex Erudites. Honorable Justice Arun sir, I also take the opportunity to thank you for showing your support to these youngsters. I'm actually delighted that you took the time or have taken the time to be part of this session, and really a big thank you for being part of their journey as well. So thank you again, and good luck to the team at Lex Erudites, and thank you for listening, and of course for making me part of this journey. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sagar sir, for your kind words. It is time to make a special announcement right now. As previously mentioned, a virtual debate competition was organized by Lex Erudites as a part of our inaugural edition's launch. The competition had an overwhelming response with 150 participants from 60 plus universities based in India. The finals of a competition were adjudicated by C. Suresh PM, Sub-Judge and Secretary of DLSA Ernakulam, Advocate Parvati Menon, Advocate at the High Court of Kerala, and the Standing Counsel for the Kerala Women's Commission, along with Sri Manu Sebastian, Managing Editor of Live Law. I would like to invite Honorable Justice V.J. Arun sir to announce the results of the competition.
The I can announce.
Yes, sir.
Yes. The prize for the best speaker goes to Anusruta Roy of National University of Advanced Legal Studies, Kochi. Congratulations, Anusruta. The second best speaker is Prajwal Gaur, School of Law, Devi Ahilya Vishwavidyalaya. Congratulations, Prajwal. My best wishes to all the participants. Keep on competing and you will keep on winning.
Thank you so much, Justice V.J. Arun sir. And congratulations to all the winners and participants. Lastly, for the vote of thanks, we have Lakshmi Nantana here. She's a student member of Lex Erudites. I welcome Lakshmi to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Aileen. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Lakshmi Nantana, a team member of Lex Erudites. It is indeed a proud and delightful moment for all of us to see the launch of our inaugural journal edition. At the outset, I would like to express my sincere gratitude on behalf of the entire Lex Erudites team to Honorable Justice V.G. Arun sir, who enlightened this event with his esteemed presence. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to extend my gratitude to the Board of Advisors, Dr. Brian Clark, Dr. Dwani Mehta, and Sagar Singham Shetty, who guided us over the past year and had taken time from their very busy schedule to be here today. I would also like to thank our senior editor, Advocate Akhil George, for the welcome address and also for his incredible support to the team members. Now, a huge thanks and applaud to the entire Lex Erudites team for their hard work and commitment to the organization since its inception. Now, I would like to thank all the attendees for being here today and showing us your support and interest in our work. Finally, congratulations to all the winners and participants of our first virtual debate competition. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, Lakshmi. With that, we have almost reached the end of today's ceremony. So let me conclude by saying this. Every moment is a fresh beginning, and it is always the hardest. As an e-journal, let's strive together to appreciate what we have and look forward to what is coming next. Thank you and signing off. This is Aileen.